What you think? Come here. Come on. Don't you get sneaky. Don't you get sneaky. Come here. Hi, Jessica. How are you? You like my little buddy? What you doing? Nice to see you. Stay right here with me. Hi, Lori. How are you? Nice to see you, my friend. You have to show your grandchildren my little pet squirrel. So Jasper, he fell out of a tree the other day and he lives with us now. He's a crazy man. Hi, Wick. Nice to see you, brother. You're looking good. Glad you've recovered nicely. Hi, Melanie. Check out my little friend. How are you, beautiful? Melanie, you're so funny. He's a good egg. Check that out. Isn't that crazy? Boop, boop. So I'm going to get started in just a moment. Now, you know what? His mom came over the other day, and she flitted her tail, looked at him. He ran behind a flower pot, and I think that's done. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll have a little dude with me for a while. Who knows? You know, in the olden days, they used to have solid gold collars that they would place on them. Hi, Sharon. Nice to see you. And they would walk their squirrels. It was a sign of affluence to have a pet squirrel with a little gold chain attached to it. So, I don't think I'm going to do that, but we go out every day and we play in the yard, and I feed him with a water dropper with milk, and he's eating and doing all sorts of wonderful things. So his name, hi David, nice to see you. His name is Jasper, and he likes to chew on things and just kind of hang out. So it's all good. Hey David, I'll call you in a bit, okay, and we'll catch up. I saw that you phoned yesterday and it was a little hectic, so I'll catch up with you in a bit, okay? So hope you're doing well today though. Come on now, sit right there. Little man, I got things to do. Got things to do. Sit right here. Yep. So, okay, what time is it? I think that I've got about one more minute, and then we will get started. So I just wanted you to see my little buddy. And let me put him away so I can focus on what I need to focus on. Say goodbye, Jasper. Goodbye. Hang tight, friends. There you go. Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever seen, that little animal? He just hangs out. He likes the world here at the Soul Cottage. He's enjoying every bit of it. So, okay, so here's the skinny, you guys. Today is day 6 of the unconditional relationship. And as you've noticed, that each day that I'm doing this, it's really a hybrid of what you need to do for yourself and what you also need to do when you're in the context of a relationship. And so today I want to talk about 16 things that I know to be true. And as I rattle off these 16 things, I think it would be a good idea, if you wanted to write them down and do some journaling with yourself about the key points here and the people in your life, and just do some evaluation, because you know a relationship is about building and growing together. It's about discovering unconditional love. It's about living in a place where you are feeling beautiful and brilliant about the world, and you're celebrating the people in your life. So off we go. Here we go. So things I know to be true. First and foremost, actions speak louder than words. So what actions do you have to nourish and grow and build and inspire that relationship? What actions are you waiting to see from your spouse or partner? Are their actions incongruent, and do they say loving things and act unlovingly? Do you say loving things and act unlovingly? How do you treat your friends? How do you live in the world? And I think our goal is to live lightly in the world and to have our actions speak much louder than the words. The man or woman that has to speak is not really the person that's most powerful. It's the man or woman that lives and does their truth authentically. Their actions speak louder than words. That's point number one. Point number two, and this is a zinger, you guys, because far too often we get in relationships and we have an expectation that something is going to change, or someone is going to change, or that you're going to change. And here's what I know. People will only change when their pain is more powerful than their denial. When their pain is more powerful than denial. Think about it this way also, that pain prevails until vision takes over. Pain prevails until vision takes over. So I'll give you an example. I was talking to a new dear friend the other day, and he was bemoaning the fact that his relationship is over with his ex. And, he seems to be somewhat rooted in that story. I don't think he is any longer. But at one point I said to him, okay, when you start to create the life that you deserve, when you start to create the life that you want, when you live into the truth of what you deserve as a loving, kind human being, then all of a sudden that vision will take over and your life will become bold and beautiful and brilliant. And so people will only change when their pain is more powerful than their denial. And if you're caught in a path where, or a process where you think that someone's going to just naturally change to adapt to your needs or wishes or desires or whatever it may be, guess what? All you're doing is holding an expectation. And guess what? That's kind of stupid. So stop being stupid. Okay, here's number three. If you live in your past, you will never experience the joy of the present. Now, let me get right down to the brass tacks of it. What ruins relationships is a fixed reality. People living in their past, holding on to the old stories, and not allowing the other person to grow. And when you don't allow someone else to grow, you can't allow yourself to grow. So I want you to do a deep and thorough evaluation of, are you living in your past? What stories are you clinging to? What narratives are you choosing to believe? And are you waking up every day and saying, I'm going to make today a brilliant, beautiful day, and it is going to be spectacular? Okay. Number four. Okay, here's a big one. If you cannot be 100% honest with yourself and others, you cannot be fully trusted. That's about authenticity. And in the context of relationships, I believe in a concept called radical honesty, where there are no secrets, there are no hidden truths, there are no deceptions. It is raw, 100% authenticity. Now, how authentic are you with yourself as well? Are you hiding out in plain view? Are you unwilling to take a deeper look at who you are? Because if you cannot be 100% honest with yourself and others, you cannot be fully trusted. Okay, let's move on to number five. I love this one. So I went to a bar several years ago with a couple of buddies, and bear in mind, these fellas used to be a little bit more rounded than they were at that time. They got themselves all healthy, and as we were standing on the edge of the dance floor, having our Shirley Temple or whatever we were drinking that night, what I noticed was these fellas started judging everybody on the dance floor. Look at his shitty shoes. Oh my God, what'd he do with that haircut? He should have thought about wearing that shirt. Just bitch, 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 bitch. And I'm thinking to myself, fellas, who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are that you can stand here and judge? Hi, Austin. Nice to see you, beautiful. And so here's what it comes down to. When we judge others, we're really judging ourselves. We're the baseline. We're the litmus test. We're the foundation. And because you can't judge someone else without having that same story of judgment in your own mind. So break free from that. You know, those people that you love in your life, sure, you might not understand them, but that gives you no right whatsoever to judge them, because we're all on a different, beautiful path. Here's point number 6. I love this one. An ungrounded soul cannot connect soulfully with others. An ungrounded soul cannot connect soulfully with others. So, who in your life right now is an ungrounded, untethered soul? And how are you trying to rescue them? How are you trying to help them be more soulful? Because guess what? You can try all day long. But the bottom line is the only thing that you really can do is live as soulfully as possible and expect them to, maybe through your mentorship or your example, maybe they'll change and become more soulful. But guess what? It's not your job to make them more soulful. And if they're ungrounded and if they're living in their fear, they got some work to do. They got to go deep within and figure out what that shit is. Okay, here's number 7. A person that cannot trust others does not trust themselves. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I was talking to another friend of mine, and he said he had been through a recent breakup, and I said, well, tell me what that did to you. And he said, well, now I can't trust anybody. I'm not going to go out. I don't want to start dating anymore. And I said, so what you're telling me is that you are now so fearful that you can't trust anybody else, and as a result, you're shutting your life down. He said, that's exactly what it is. I said, well, guess what, brother? Here's the problem. It's not about the folks that you can't trust in your world. It's a fact. It's about the fact that you can't trust your own intuition, your own sense of judgment, your own sense of discernment. That starts within. So be careful with who you yoke yourself to, because it's not about trusting the external world. It's about trusting yourself. I have a general rule. Your energy is what I'm going to read before any word ever comes out of your mouth. And if your energy is hot and hostile and volatile and ugly, then guess what? I'm going to discern you out of my life. And I'm certainly not going to fall in love with you. But if your energy is beautiful and connected and loving and kind and appreciative of the joys in the world, then guess what? We might yoke up. And it might be a really cool thing. All right, here's number 8. Love, unconditional love, is expressed by being available and in connection with others. So if you're in a partnership right now, how are you making yourself available? Are you leaving your spouse or partner a kind note every day, encouraging them? Are you sending a random text message every day that just says, I'm thinking about you? Are you looking for little ways to make their world different or better? Are you the person that is available and in connection with other people? You've heard me talk about the concept of holding space. So how do you hold space for another human being? And what that really means to me is giving the people the permission to show up the way they want to, and you being as loving and as kind and as open and as honest and as non-judgmental and as accepting as you possibly can be. All right, here's the next big zinger, number 9. The conditions, judgments, and expectations you have for others are a direct reflection of your own self-imposed conditions, judgments, and expectations. Whoa, think about that one. You know, if you really want to get to the core of the matter in your own soul, start evaluating all the conditions you have for yourself and others, all the judgments you hold against yourself and others, and all the expectations you have for how life is supposed to be, how people are supposed to show up, and how the world is supposed to unfold. Because guess what? You cannot create a reality of joy, peace, and purpose if you're holding conditions, judgments, and expectations. All right, number 10. We create our realities to mitigate pain and keep us safe in the world. So you might be living with someone that has a reality of fear. And if you're mucking around in a sea of fear, then you can choose to do that. But guess what? That's not how life is supposed to be lived. That's not the joyful divine expression that we're intended to have in our lives. Fear plays no role. And I want you to get a hard check on the fear that you're holding in your life. Is it fear that you're going to be alone, fear that you are unworthy, fear that you're not going to have the resources that you have? Like my friend Jasper the squirrel. That little dude is not worried. He doesn't have a fear in the world because he trusts himself. He knows that he will survive, and he knows that there are people in his life that are loving and unconditional toward him. All right, number 11, and this is a zinger, because if you're knocking back a bottle of wine every day, if you're smoking more weed that you're making Cheech and Chong embarrassed because they can't keep up with you, if you are playing a story in your head of insignificance and unworthiness, if you are limiting your own growth potential, self-abuse, number 11, self-abuse is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. And guess what? Why are you telling God to fuck off? Why are you telling the universe that the universe made a mistake? Why are you looking at creation and saying that you're the anomaly in the mix and there's something wrong with you? You've just bought a bill of goods that says you are flawed, and I think that's a whole bunch of horseshit. There's nothing wrong with you. You're getting better and better every day in every way. All right, number 12, and this is a good analysis tool. Number 12 is we run to or from something. We run to or from something. So what are you running to? Are you running to a life of joy, peace, and purpose, or are you running from pain, fear, and insignificance? What are you running to, or what are you running from? All right, number 13. You, my friend, are solely responsible for the actions, the emotions, and the thoughts in your life. You are. So if you're perfecting this idea that you're a victim of circumstance, you're a victim of other people, you're a victim of unhappiness, put your big boy or big girl panties on, pull them up, cry me a river, and get over it. You might want to build a bridge too so you can get over it. You are solely responsible for the actions, emotions, and thoughts in your life. You create your reality. Here's the interesting thing about that, though. That's one of the most powerful things I can say to you, because that's where your strength lies. And when you harness this idea that you are responsible for creating your reality, then all of a sudden you got to take a lot of responsibility for how you create your reality. And then you got to step into a place where you're creating with intention and purpose and desire and peace and joy and divinity. All right, here's number 14. The only two things that we can control are our perceptions and our reactions. The only two things. How we perceive things and how we react to them. That's it. Nothing more. You can't control your children. You can't control your animals. You can't control your spouse or partner. You can't control your boss. You can't control the traffic. You cannot control anything except how you perceive things and how you react to things. That's powerful music right there, friends. Wow. All right, number 15. Ideas without action are nothing more than dreams unfulfilled. Ideas without action are nothing more than dreams unfulfilled. So if you want a beautiful, peaceful, joyful, intense, spiritual, connected, soulful, sensual experience with someone, create the idea in your mind and then put action behind it. It's how you live. You know, so often I have people say to me, I want to find the love of my life. And just like I was saying to a friend of mine the other day, who's destined to find his soulmate, I said, here's the thing. Stop looking and start looking within. Start perfecting your heart in a beautiful way. Learn how to love yourself so much that the world sees your attractiveness. And then stand in that attractiveness. Because when you know that you are the embodiment of love, you're going to roll your shoulders back. You're going to hold your head up higher. You're going to walk with a great sense of deliberate step. You're gonna sing a song differently. You're gonna engage more dramatically. You're gonna speak the truth in love. You're going to be a person who knows that you are a transmitter and a receiver of love. All right, number 16, and then I'm gonna wrap it up with a story. All right, I deserve, and you deserve love, but it begins with you. Begins with you. You do not fall in love. You create love. You don't experience love. You design love. You don't happen onto love. You become loving, and love happens in your life. Powerful. It's very, 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 very powerful. So the 16 truths that I know about relationships tell me that as you're on this pursuit to find that love of your life, don't sexualize it, because guess what? That's just letting your genitals talk for you. Don't move too quickly, because that's just your sense of urgency and insecurity. Stand openly to the process of allowing love to occur, and remember that love is a verb. Love is action. Love is service. Love is commitment. Love is openness and holding space. And love is something that you're not going to read in a Hallmark card. You're going to find it within yourself. So, if I've struck a chord with you in some way today, I invite you to share this video, comment below, and if you want to visit my website, upsizeyoursoul.com, I'll send you some good information that will start you on a journey of becoming more self-aware and more loving toward yourself. And by the way, if you're in the Gulfport, St. Pete area, I'm going to start a series of sound meditation sessions that will happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday a.m. and Tuesday, Thursday in the p.m. So stay tuned for that. I'll be posting information on Facebook. And I'm also going to start a series of creative conversational experiences at Tangelo's on their courtyard. We're going to paint, we're going to talk, we're going to share our lives, and we're going to build community. And so with that, I leave you with one profound thought, and that is that if you're seeking love in your life, stop looking and start being. Be well, friends. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm now going to go hang out with Jasper a bit more. Take care.